of the prison population globally. This is an extremely disturbing demographic that gives us a look into one of the core reasons that our nation is so divided on this issue. Why are we, a country whose major religion is Christianity, so bad at restorative justice? And what can we do better? These were the questions that I pondered as I listened to the stories of 5 different returning citizens who had spent time in prison. They talked about how they had ended up in prison, what being in the prison system was like, and what they are doing now in order to benefit the community around them. While in prison, those that spoke mentioned many of the injustices that they experienced. They talked about the lack of basic hygiene products and the racial bias when trying to acquire jobs within the prison. White people are more likely to get jobs in prison, and black people are also more likely to get a heavier sentence than a white individual would get. This was seen mainly around the time that the war on drugs began. Although white people used the same amount of drugs as black people did, black people were more likely to be targeted for random searches and arrested. This is still going on today. Overall, the prison system is lacking and it is not serving its purpose. Although most people believe that the purpose of the prison should be restorative justice and successful reintroduction to society, that is not what we see happening. Often when returning citizens are released from prison, they find it extremely difficult to get a job and will usually fall back into crime. If we as a society allow this to happen, then we are also part of our failing justice system. One of the quotes I remember is, "Prison breeds anger." Once people are released from prison, they commit more crimes. Programs inside prisons allow individuals to feel like they can contribute to society once they're released. Another big problem that was talked about was the school-to-prison pipeline. What this means is that when a minor commits a crime, they can be sentenced to a large amount of time in prison. This can ruin the rest of their lives. As a society, we build more prisons than we build schools. After the small seminar with a panel of returned citizens ended, we began the process of packing hygiene kits. When I say the room was packed full of people, I mean that there were so many people that we had to get into a line in order to go through packing the kits. It was really inspiring to see all these people of different races, nationalities, cultures, and even religions come together and pack these kits. Along the line of people, you could have had your picture taken for MCC's Instagram, as well as look at various organizations with ties to some of the panelists that have spoken. These organizations help returning citizens get a job and re-enter a healthy lifestyle. We were also able to view an exhibit outlining the words and experiences of children that have parents in prison. We were able to cycle through the line 5 times before they ran out of supplies. We packed a grand total of 531 hygiene kits. The returning citizens expressed how much of a blessing hygiene kits are to those in prison who cannot afford to pay for their most basic needs. I really enjoyed attending this event. I believe that although prison ministry is not for everyone, it is our job and responsibility as Christians to care for the oppressed and set the captives free. We as a Christian community are meant to show compassion and forgiveness. We need to be a group of people that is judgment-free, and we need to begin fighting